Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're cutting through some of the confusion around two really potent tools for managing healthcare costs for the 2025 tax year specifically.
Right. Health savings accounts, HSAs, and flexible spending accounts, FSAs.
Exactly. You've probably heard of them, but we want to really extract the key nuggets, the stuff you need to know from the 2025 Taxpayer's Guide to Maximizing HSAs and FSAs.
And crucially, help you avoid some common and sometimes quite costly mistakes.
Yes, because our goal here isn't just basics. It's a shortcut, really, to understanding how to properly use these accounts. They sound similar, maybe, but using them strategically, that takes a bit more nuance.
It really does.
So let's start with the HSA. The core power, from what I'm gathering, is this triple tax advantage. That seems huge, almost like a supercharged retirement account, but for healthcare. Is that fair?
That's a great way to put it. And yeah, absolutely. That triple tax advantage is the game changer. It's not just one benefit, it's the combination.
Yeah.
So you put money in tax deductible. Then, if you invest it, it grows tax deferred. And then, when you take it out for qualified medical expenses,
Tax-free.
completely tax-free. There's really no other account that gives you all three of those things. That's what makes it so powerful, especially for, long-term health planning.
Okay, that's a serious advantage. But HSAs sound like they're built for the long haul. How do FSAs fit in? They seem different, more for immediate stuff.
Exactly. FSAs let you put aside pre-tax money straight from your paycheck.
Okay.
Which means those dollars skip federal income tax and Social Security and Medicare taxes. So you get an immediate saving on money you plan to spend on medical or dependent care this year.
So it's really about that short-term, right-now savings benefit.
Precisely. Much more immediate focus.
Right. So, okay, we've got these core differences. HSA for the long game, maybe investing. FSA for the near term, immediate tax savings. But maximizing them, that's where the details matter, right?
Absolutely. Things like eligibility rules are different. Who owns the account? HSAs are yours. They're portable if you change jobs. FSAs belong to the employer plan.
And the rollover rules. This is a big one. HSAs just roll over year after year. The money stays yours.
But FSAs have that infamous use it or lose it rule, generally speaking.
Right. And these differences, especially around timing and deadlines, that seems to be where people can really trip up.
It is. So let's recap those main distinctions quickly. HSAs, long-term, portable investment potential. For 2025, you can put in $4,300 for self-only coverage, $8,550 for family.
And there's that catch-up too, right, for older folks?
Yep, an extra $1,000 if you're 55 or older.
Okay. And FSAs.
FSAs, short-term spending. For 2025, the limit is $3,300 per employee, per employer.
Got it. Now, let's talk about what might be the single costliest mistake with HSAs. And it's probably not what most people think.
Probably not.
It's not about missing the, April 15th deadline to contribute for the last year. You can do that. The real killer is failing to legally establish the account. Getting our first deposit in, let's call it day one funding, before you actually incur the medical expenses.
Yes. This timing is non-negotiable. Think about it like car insurance.
Yeah.
You can't buy the policy after you've already had the accident and expect it to cover, right?
Right, okay. Makes sense.
Same idea. We have this example, Alex. Becomes eligible for an HSA January 1st. Has unexpected surgery in February. Costs $3,000. But he doesn't actually open and put money into his HSA until December.
Oh, boy. So that $3,000.
That $3,000 expense happened before the HSA legally existed. So it's not a qualified medical expense for HSA purposes. If he takes HSA money out to reimburse himself for it,
Trouble.
big trouble. It's
Yeah.
taxable income plus a 20% penalty on top.
Ouch. And this catches so many otherwise savvy people.
Wow. Okay, that is critical. It's not just having the eligibility, it's having the account opened and funded before the bill comes.
Exactly, before the service is rendered technically. Okay, wow. Now, flipping back to FSAs, that use it or lose it sounds pretty harsh. But there are ways around just forfeiting the money, aren't there? Some nuances.
There are, thankfully. But it depends on the employer. The IRS lets employers offer one of two exceptions, but not both.
Okay, what are they?
Option 1, a grace period. They might give you up to 2.5 months into the next year to incur new expenses and use up the previous year's FSA money.
Or
Option 2, a carryover. They might let you carry over a certain amount of unused funds into the next plan year. For 2025 funds, that carryover limit into 2026 is $660.
But key point, the employer chooses if they offer one and which one.
Correct. You absolutely have to check your specific employer's plan documents. Don't just assume you have a grace period or a carryover. Find out for sure.
Good advice. And one more thing on maximizing things, especially HSAs. How you contribute matters too, right?
Right.
For tax efficiency.
It does. If you can, contributing to your HSA through payroll deductions at work is usually the best way. Because when you do it through payroll, those contributions typically bypass not just income tax, but also FICA taxes, that's Social Security and Medicare.
Ah, so it's an extra layer of tax savings compared to just contributing after-tax money and taking a deduction later.
Exactly. You don't get the FICA tax break if you contribute directly and deduct it on your tax return. Payroll deduction avoids FICA permanently. That's a real tangible saving, a decent chunk of change over time.
Okay, so pulling this all together for you listening, really digging into these rules makes a difference. Understanding the HSA's unique power, that critical day one funding rule.
And knowing how to navigate the FSA, use it or lose it rules, whether you have a grace period or carryover.
And optimizing contributions through payroll for HSAs to save on FICA taxes.
Yeah.
These aren't just small tweaks.
Not at all.
Doing this transforms these accounts, you know? They stop being just places to park cash for doctor visits and become real, powerful parts of your financial plan. It's about more than just near-term savings.
It really is. It's about securing funding for healthcare long-term, potentially building a significant health asset for retirement even. It builds financial resilience.